Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All right, my name is Eric, and I'm an assistant director here at the Arkansas Alumni Association. I work with our student programs, and I serve as the advisor for the Student Alumni Board, which is the governing body for the Student Alumni Association. This afternoon, it is my distinct honor to recount some of the highlights from such a wonderful year of service and leadership from this award-winning class, the 2012-2013 Student Alumni Board Directors. These outstanding students they served as the face of the largest registered student organization on the campus, but their challenge only begins there. This class of directors went above and beyond to establish the Student Alumni Board as one of the premier and prestigious student leadership positions on the University of Arkansas campus. These student leaders certainly have established a legacy of service and excellence, and their commendable service to the Student Alumni Association and to the Arkansas alumni family, all while maintaining stellar academic merit, is just half of the picture. These students are extremely bright, driven, and accomplished, but I am most pleased with their character and professionalism. So briefly, I will highlight some of the outstanding endeavors that have been undertaken by this year's class of directors and some of the recognition that they received for their efforts. This year's class, the 2012-2013 class of Student Alumni Board officers can be found in their inside faculty program. And I'm going to name the officers from this last year's class. Ms. Caitlin Lamb, Ms. Alexa Albrecht, Ms. Abigail Brumfield, Ms. Victoria Faulkner, Mr. Will Hanson, Ms. Kelly Lamb, and Ms. Melanie Mines. These students were responsible for producing the homecoming celebration at the University of Arkansas. So in the fall, these directors were consumed with producing one of the best celebrations our campus has ever experienced. The wonderful reflective theme for this year's celebration was Every Day is a Holiday, and this was created by the SAB Homecoming Director, Ms. Abigail Brumfield, and the Homecoming Steering Committee. The motivation behind this year's celebration was to increase campus unity and inclusion while promoting friendly competition, and it was a resounding success. There was wonderful collaboration between the Associated Student Government, Resident Interhall Congress, and Student Affairs to paint Dixon Street vendor windows red, sharing the homecoming spirit with the Northwest Arkansas community. The Student Alumni Board collaborated with the American Red Cross and University Recreation to produce the annual homecoming blood drive, which amassed over 1,100 projects. The directors fed hot dogs to nearly 2,000 students alongside U of A faculty and administration and produced a chili cook-off and a flag football tournament, donating all the proceeds to the Seven Hills Homeless Shelter. The board also facilitated the Creator Hall contest, a simple enough concept letting the campus vote on the best and most fun raised-back replicas. And by this contest, the group solicited over $11,000 in coin currency to support the Northwest Arkansas March of Dimes. I think that's worth an applause. This committee also produced the 5 Cans Raised Back 5K event, which was the first time that the Student Alumni Association has undertaken a 5K. And the goal was to increase awareness and donations for the Full Circle on-campus food pantry. Through this event, this group collected over 11,000 pounds in canned goods for the pantry. And the race saw nearly 2,000 participants and was awarded the Registered Student Organization Award for Community Service Event of the Year. The Student Alumni Board also partnered with the Career Services Department and the Northwest Arkansas Chapter to help develop the U of A Career Hall's Professional Development Program here at the Arkansas Alumni Association. In this program, Student Alumni Association members gain access to exclusive lectures from distinguished alumni and Johnson Fellow, Amy Tu, who is the Vice President of Boeing International, that received resume help from HR professionals within the Northwest Arkansas community, attended the dining etiquette dinner, developing professional networking skills, and the officers also served as exemplary escorts for the distinguished donors during the biannual Towers Ball Bank Donor Recognition Gala. So in closing, and recapping all that these students have accomplished, it is really a wonder that they've done so much in so little time. On top of their primary responsibilities as students. So in my humble opinion, the key to their resounding success was their incredible teamwork and their commitment to selfless service to their fellow directors and the Razorback family. So at this time, I would ask for the 2012-2013 officers that are here with us today to please stand and approach the stage. We have a gift from the Arkansas Alumni Association that we would like to present to you for your service. Come on up. Once again, so on behalf of the Arkansas Alumni Association and the National Board of Directors, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation. I would also like to say that, I couldn't be more proud to advise a great group of people. So I'd like to thank this year's Director of Operations and also the Registered Student Organization Officer of the Year recipient, Ms. Caitlin Lamb, who served as our SAB President, as well as the 2013 Senior SAB Officers and the 2013 SAB Board. The Arkansas Alumni Association will forever cherish the service that you've given to not only the association but the university. I'd like for the members of the 2013-2014 Student Alumni Board that are present to please stand. I believe we have a few officers that are here with us this afternoon. Please continue to stand, continue to stand. I just wanted to say to you, first of all, we're thrilled to have you on board for the upcoming year, and I just also want to say that you've been given a shining example of how to leave your legacy here at the University of Arkansas. So I hope that you take these seniors' example to heart and employ that mentality as you go throughout your next year of service. We have no doubt that you'll succeed, and we thank you for your commitment to service. We're looking forward to everything that you're going to do over the next year, so you may be seated now. Finally, I'd like to call National Alumni Board member Heather Nelson to the stage. She will move the program forward.
Okay, there's supposed to be a whole box of Kleenex up here before this started. First, let me say that it is such an honor to have been asked to introduce the Arkansas Alumni Association scholarship recipients. And I'm looking down because if I look up, I'm going to lose it. The Alumni Association holds a scholarship review weekend every February, and it is by far the highlight of my year. In fact, Robin January knows when I receive my new Franklin Covey planner in the mail for the coming year because she gets an email from me saying, "When's the weekend? What do I need to block out for the scholarship review?" I get more out of that weekend than any 2 days I spend anywhere all year, and that is the truth. Since 1990, the Alumni Association has provided opportunities for many future alumni through scholarship support. To date, the association has awarded over 3,000 scholarships totaling nearly $4.9 million. This past year alone, the association awarded more than $860,000 to University of Arkansas students. Within the next 2 years, we expect our annual awards to top $1 million. In February of this year, is anybody else getting chills? In February of this year, 35 alumni volunteers assembled to select the association's freshman scholarship recipients from more than 500 applications. 2 students rose to the top and were named as our Alumni Endowed Scholars. Each student will receive a $6,500 renewable scholarship from the association. Please help me welcome our freshman Alumni Endowed Scholars. And I think Brooklyn Brown is going to come to the front while I embarrass her. This is our freshman. momentum because I was going to say that would conclude the statistics portion of the presentation today, because the numbers are incredible, and there's no doubt that the Arkansas Alumni Association is doing incredible things. Certainly incapable of doing that without Robin January's leadership, and I would like her to wave, because I know she won't stand up. And I love numbers. I mean, numbers are part of the living that I make, and it's what I do every day. But what I've learned is that numbers are just part of the story. Each student that we're going to introduce you to today is beyond phenomenal. They have exceptional GPAs, they have fantastic work ethics, they have great leadership skills. And at 18 years of age, Brooklyn and Nick, who are our two newest alumni scholarship recipients, make us older alumni wonder how we ever got into the University of Arkansas. So my hope today is to introduce each of them and show you what we see as we read those hundreds of scholarship applications. I want to show you a glimpse into their hearts. First, I would like to introduce you to Brooklyn Brown. It's unfortunate for her that she got picked first because she's had to stay there for the longest. She comes to us from Shreveport, Louisiana. Rob in January will tell you that when you find a magical scholarship application, you can feel it in your bones. Brooklyn's was such an application. I'm not saying I'm partial due to her love of quotes, her fascinating theory on them, but let me say she had me at hello. To quote a personal statement on friendship, she wrote, "The people that have made me who I am today, they have taught me courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important than fear. The brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all." Brooklyn, may you become even braver still during your time here at the University of Arkansas. We are proud to honor your success by recognizing you as a recipient of the Alumni Endowed Scholarship. Welcome to the Arkansas Alumni Association family.
Thank everyone here today, all of the members of the board of the Alumni Association, and just the Alumni Association as a whole for making this scholarship possible. I just knew the first time that I would walk on campus of the University of Arkansas, when I was received with such hospitality, that this was the place for me. I just felt like a part of the Razorback family the very first time I came here, and I can't wait to be here in the fall, so thank you so much.
Our second scholarship goes to Nick Cockrell. Would you please come forward? Did anybody miss him? I saw him when he first walked in the door. And it was in part of his essay, actually. And next we have Nick Cockrell, who comes to the University of Arkansas from Texarkana, Texas. Nick's scholarship essay was equal parts touching and funny. While he described a crisis he had on the first day of second grade when he was so excited to be a big kid, only to realize once he sat in his desk that he was quite literally too big for the desk. Embarrassed, he quickly realized a decision he had to make: run and cry or accept his uniqueness. He chose the latter. And that lesson led to greater wisdom and empathy in dealing with others who were different from him. Nick, our wish is that you will bring your uniqueness, your wisdom, and your empathy to your time here at the University of Arkansas and carve out your own unique path on these hallowed grounds.
Something out here. First off, I'd like to thank the Arkansas Alumni Association and the Board of Directors for awarding me this endowed scholarship. I'm very honored and very appreciative of y'all's support. I won't let you down, and I will do my best as I pursue a biology degree in hopes of becoming a future dentist. As you just heard, I've been very active in my high school, church, and community, and I'm very excited to be involved in new activities in Arkansas. Some of the reasons I actually chose Arkansas were the sports programs, the friendly atmosphere, the Greek life, and academic opportunities. But if you know me, as you just said, I love my food. So, excuse me, she didn't say that, but. So honestly, I'd have to say the real deciding factor had to be the Waffle House on Dixie Street. In fact, it was 19 degrees that morning when I stepped on the campus for one last time as an undecided senior. And I breathed in that awesome Razorback mountain air, and I leaned over to my mama and I said, "Mama, this is where I'm supposed to be." I learned to call the Hogs as a small child, so the U of A has been in my blood. But now I'm thrilled to be a third-generation Razorback and continue my education at the place my daddy calls the Harvard of the South. Thank you.
And now it's time to recognize our graduating alumni endowed scholars. Each year, we ask our seniors to come speak to this group and reflect upon what the scholarship has meant to them. Let me just say that my lower lip quivered and my hand shook a little as I typed out what I wanted to say about these two amazing women. Elizabeth Yates, extraordinary. That is what she is, and that is also how she was described in one of her recommendation letters way back in 2009. I remember when I got to it, it made me go back and read her entire application package one more time. And I agreed with him completely. I love the stories of these kids from rural areas with big dreams and all kinds of obstacles, who due to something deep inside of them, along with key people in their lives, dream bigger and soar higher than even they imagined that they could. And in the journey, they take a whole lot of people with them. Elizabeth is just such a woman. Her heart is in everything that she does, and I cannot wait to see where her heart leads her. I can't tell you how many times Robin and I would stand at the back of the room and listen to Elizabeth tell a group of alumni about her latest adventure, and we would both be crying. There is no better quote to sum up Elizabeth than, "Do not follow where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path, and leave a trail." Elizabeth, you have left quite the trail over the past 4 years, and we are anxiously awaiting to see the trail you will create in the days, months, and years to come. You have made the most of every second of the past 4 years here at the University of Arkansas, and you have honored the scholarship you earned from us. In 2002, the association played a vital role in establishing a tradition of the official University of Arkansas ring. Elizabeth, we are proud to present you with this symbol of your accomplishments at the University of Arkansas. Take pride in this ring and serve as an ambassador for the association and university during your life's journey. Congratulations, Elizabeth.
It seems like just yesterday I was in Nick in Brooklyn's shoes, and I was completely intimidated by the people in this room. And I was shocked that I was chosen as a recipient of that scholarship. And coming to that weekend, the scholarship review, you don't realize how big of a deal the scholarship is until you understand the process that it goes through to eliminate it and find the top two. People are arguing. They're like huge fights once they come out of that room, and they're like, "Oh no, it should be this person. No, it should be this person." It's such an honor to be selected by the Alumni Association for this scholarship, and there's no way that I would be here today, graduating tomorrow without any debt, without your help. It's just been such a huge honor, and you guys have all been such a great blessing. And I wanted to thank my parents who are here today, and they definitely had the most to do with me being here. Many of you have heard my story, but I'll tell you one more time. About when I started kindergarten and my mom told me, "You have to get all A's so you can get a scholarship to pay for school." And I came home with my report card and I had all S's for satisfactory. And I was crying and my mom said, "What's wrong?" And so I told her I got all S's, and she said, "Well, they don't actually give A's in kindergarten." It was a fun time to inform me of that too. And then I was in 8th grade when I actually learned that none of my grades had mattered until that point for so much. And I was in 4-H from the time I was 5, and my mom had a record of every service or leadership role I'd ever been a part of, and she had detailed how many hours I'd spent doing everything, how many people had been affected by it. So filling out scholarship applications was quite easy with her help and her excellent records. So initially, my dream of coming to college definitely came from my mom and her persistence. And then as far as being in engineering, that's Mr. Baker, who's here today, the one she spoke about writing my letter of recommendation. He one day asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I guess I'll probably major in education. I know in Huntsville, that's kind of all you get exposed to, I suppose. You just see teachers all the time, so I thought, well, that seems like a good thing for me. And he said, why don't you look into some other options? I mean, teaching's fine, but maybe you haven't really looked into much. So Baker was the first teacher I ever had who actually wanted to know like what I wanted to do besides just go to college, and really helped me form a career goal and try to figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to do with a career. So I just wanted to thank them for all of their efforts in getting me to this point today. But thank you so much. I'm so honored, and I hope that will make you proud in the rest of my life. Thank you.
Before I introduce our next graduating alumni endowed scholar, I want to recognize someone very special. I alluded to him in my introduction of Elizabeth, and it is hard to introduce any scholar really without thinking of him. His name is Philip Baker, and he is a special guest today of Elizabeth, and he is also her former chemistry and physics teacher at Huntsville High School in Huntsville, Arkansas. But he is also an honored guest of all of us who have spent time poring over scholarship applications in February every year. This past February, Robin and I got into a deep discussion about Mr. Baker. He has become a standout in encouraging students to dream big and apply for scholarships and to reach for the stars. And he is making a powerful impact in Huntsville, Arkansas. But he is so much more. He is a mentor to his students, and to a lot of us, he has become quite the inspiration. There's just no other word. In Elizabeth's application essay, she quoted him saying his favorite quote is, the hard is what makes something worth doing. And the feelings between him and his students are mutual. He wrote of Elizabeth in one of the most glowing recommendation letters I have read to this day. Quote, I am not one to gush, but Elizabeth is simply extraordinary. And she is. But today we wanted to also recognize Mr. Baker as one extraordinary mentor and a living example of how believing and empowering our children can make such an extraordinary difference in their lives. And now all of our lives, because we have all been so blessed to know so many of his students. Mr. Baker, with sincerest appreciation, the Arkansas Alumni Association recognizes you for your dedication and encouragement to high school seniors in their pursuit of a higher education. We want to present you with just a small token. You don't have to speak, but we just wanted to present you with a yesterday, and as amazing as she was at 18, she has grown into and blossomed into one of the most amazing women I know. Katie came to us from Ozark, Arkansas. In her scholarship essay, she wrote about being a young woman with high aspirations and what it was like to have naysayers. This was 2009, and I can remember thinking as I read it, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. I want to share a snippet from that essay. Quote, so often, women like me let discouragement convince us we are wrong to want to play football, become president, or run a Fortune 500 company. We get in our own way. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? I know God has blessed me with unbelievable gifts, and it is my duty to get out of my own way and utilize those gifts to glorify Him. Whenever negatives are asking, who are you to be brilliant, as they surround me, I can now confidently respond, who am I not to be? I am my only obstacle, end quote. She was 18. Katie, you are every bit of brilliant. And it has been a tremendous honor to watch you blossom even further over the past 4 years. And I stand in awe of the opportunities that lie before you. But as a professional woman, I am even more in awe of the clarity with which you see them. You too have made the most of every second of the past 4 years here at the University of Arkansas, and you have honored the scholarship you have earned from us. We hope that you will continue to believe in yourself, believe in others, and share your heart in all that you do as you leave the University of Arkansas. Katie, this ring is a recognizable symbol of your accomplishments, just like Senior Walk. This ring will travel the world with you. We ask that you serve as an ambassador for the association and the university during your life's journey, and point to this ring as a symbol that ties the University of Arkansas family together. Congratulations, Katie. I follow this girl all over Africa. Katie's actually going to speak later in the program. As we honor and celebrate these extraordinary students, I want to close with a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. My wish, our collective wish for Brooklyn and Nick, as they begin their next 4 years, and Elizabeth and Katie, as they take on the world, is that they will each continue to live their lives while daring greatly, inspiring us all every step of the way. Congratulations again to all of our alumni and endowed scholars. We are proud to see you represent the Arkansas Alumni Association, and now it's my honor to call Graham Stewart to the podium to introduce the Senior Honor Citation recipients.
This is not a part of the script, and a lot of people get nervous, but I want to recognize Heather for her belief in this program, but more importantly, her belief and passion in these kids. Let's give Heather a big hand.
I don't see any clippings up here. Did you use it all? I'll tell you. This is my first time through this. Everybody told me that this was a special event, and now I see why. I'm pleased to be here. For 48 years, since 1965, the Arkansas Alumni Association has been honoring the top undergraduate senior men and women. These students are outstanding in their own rights and have significantly demonstrated the qualities which this award represents, and that is academic excellence, leadership, and significant extracurricular campus and or community involvement. As you've heard, making these award selections is by no means an easy task. Many qualified students submit their applications, and we commend the committee of 35 for their hard work. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Dr. Pearl Dow, Stephanie Henschel, and Dr. Judge Harbin, who served in this capacity. I think Stephanie's here. Could you raise your hand and be recognized? The Alumni Association proudly honors 2 Senior Honor Citation recipients with an award of $500 and a life membership in the association valued at $750. Additionally, the recipients' names are permanently etched in a place of honor here at the Alumni House, and the recipients will be featured in an upcoming issue of Arkansas Magazine, which goes into, which goes to association membership over 26,000 households, and we can send extra copies your way, certainly, for all your relatives. This year's recipients are in good company with former outstanding recipients who have gone on to amazing careers with stellar accomplishments and represent their University of Arkansas class with distinction and honor. We know this year's recipients will also represent us with distinction and honor. So let's get started. Our first recipient is someone you've already met, Katie McGee, an alumni endowed scholar from Ozark, Arkansas. Katie submitted a scholarship essay describing the obstacles women face in pursuing their dreams, and you eloquently shared that with us earlier. That essay gave us a glimpse to who Katie